Welcome, everyone. I am here today with Susan Norish. Susan is trained and certified in conscious connected breathwork and neurofeedback and is the founder of Born Again Breathwork. Her mission for over 30 years has been to equip people to embody your divinity by embracing your humanity. With Susan's guidance and support, clients can experience breathwork with gentleness and ease without re-traumatizing or even having to relive difficult memories. She calls breathwork a superpower that we all possess that can truly awaken and transform our lives. Susan, thank you for being with us today.
Oh, thank you so much, Sarah. It's such a joy to be here.
It is, and I personally have experienced your breathwork classes, and they're just truly phenomenal. So thank you for sharing this gift with our audience.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was hoping you could start by sharing a time when maybe you identified a pattern in your own life and how you became aware of it and how it wasn't serving you.
Well, I probably, like many people, have recognized many patterns in my life that I just was not able to resolve. I wanted to step out of them, and whatever I did, whatever I tried, just seemed to just keep me in the loop, keep me stuck in that pattern. And I think for me, I was really getting caught up in the detail of all the different things that I was focused on, trying to make myself a better person. And then I recognized that, there's got to be something within me for this life, because I've been hearing everywhere how we create, we manifest. What we see in our reality is a reflection of what's inside of us. And all of these truths that were pinging me, but not really deeply hitting me and changing me. And it was that pattern that when I finally recognized that, I was able to step out of that. That pattern was simply looking outside of myself, trying to find the solution from my own issues that are inner issues, by going to the next great conference or listening to the next great speaker, picking up the best book. And not that any of those things is wrong or not good. It was just my expectation that if I just get that piece of information, that knowledge, if that is the key, is the knowledge that will transform me. And that wasn't changing me. And then I began to go inward. I began to recognize, I developed my sense of interoception, which is our ability to sense and be aware of the energies moving within the body, sensations. And I began to disengage from my attachment to those sensations, and stepping out of having to rely on what people were saying, the conventional wisdom was saying, and really focusing in on what's going on inside of me that I can actually truly change from within myself. I saved a lot of money that way too.
Yeah, absolutely. And what is the biggest difference you noticed between what that conventional external wisdom was saying and what you found within yourself? Was there any nuggets that stood out?
Yeah, I mean, I can say, for example, I have always struggled with food, not in the sense that I was overly, overweight or whatnot. I didn't have that. But what the struggle was for me was my dependence on it to help me disassociate from the world and from my pain, my inner pain. And it was really, truly my only pleasure in life. And I knew that that was something I wanted to change. And conventional wisdom was saying, exercise more and eat less, count your calories. And I did that so extreme that I actually put myself in a position that I was dying and my body was physically shutting down. And I was trying to feed my family healthy. And really, I was just messing everybody up, because I was so focused on trying to do the right thing. I was neglecting what it was doing to my body and to those that I love. And when somebody very wise said to me, Susan, there's more to health than what you put in your mouth, that's a turning point for me. I began to eat things that I thought were unhealthy, for my health. I began to kind of do the opposite because I wanted to see how it affected me personally. And then I could make those changes from the framework of where do I feel clear? How is this actually benefiting me? And if it wasn't benefiting me, how do I change that sensation so that I can be free?
That's such a great example. And what you're making me think is, as we begin to listen internally and pay attention to where we feel clear, a lot of emotions and thoughts are going to come to the surface, right? So, what do we do with those as they're coming up? And especially if they're representing both light and dark sides of our inner worlds, how do we bring balance?
Wow, that is a really great question. And I think it's something that we continue to process. I certainly do. Because the energies that are going on inside of us, when we begin to tune into those things, whether it's sensation or thought, we tend to label, we tend to identify, and we do tend to polarize, saying this is good, this is bad, I should be feeling this, I shouldn't be feeling this, and it's good for me to feel this, it's not good for me to feel this is pain, this is pleasure. And when we go to either polar side, we're really just kind of tossed about within because we can't find that place of balance. When that place of balance is being able to see both sides, feel both sides, and not label them. Judgment really is a big key here. When we begin to let go of how we judge these energies and these sensations, when we're just aware that they're there and they're going on, whether it's thought or sensation, we can then be able to be in that space. There's like a sweet spot in between those polarities. It's a field really of consciousness where we can stay aware with them, be present with them, and not be pulled in either direction. And there's a balancing that happens. And it happens mentally and physiologically. Our nervous system can rebalance itself, and there's a recalibration that happens energetically, physically, emotionally. And really simply, it comes from that ability to be aware, but with that sense of detachment and not judging.
Yeah, that's a great point. And the word that stood out to me there was pulling, like when things are pulling at us. And I know one thing you're going to do with us today is an interactive exercise to get in touch with being able to identify where in our bodies we're feeling those pulls and energies. Can you tell us a little bit about, a good starting point for someone who wants to begin to align body, mind, and spirit and pay attention to those sensations?
Mhm. Well, I think the best starting point is just to be aware that that desire is within you, that you need to be grateful for and really congratulate yourself for having that awareness that you want to create that alignment. But practically speaking, the breath really is a gateway into the inner world, into your inner landscape, and is it is that sweet spot when we can surrender all of our thoughts, all of our identification, all of our labeling, all of our judgments, to just simply being aware of how the breath is moving in the body. Then we can open up a little bit more to notice, oh, there was a little heartbeat, there was a little flinch, I felt a tingling there, I feel the awareness of my hands being there, even though my eyes are closed, I sense my hands. And so we begin to become much more aware of what is going on, these subtle nuances of life and our being energetically, without having to dissociate. Because whenever anything becomes a little intense, we can even recognize that, and recognize that we're identifying it as uncomfortable, and say, oh, isn't that interesting? I've recognized that. I can step back and be the observer. Is really what we're doing, is we're observing our being and observing the communication within our being, from the body, from our subconscious, from our unconscious, and we're just watching. We're watching the communication. So yes, we're going to be doing an exercise to develop that interoception. It'll be just about 5 or 10 minutes. And what we'll be doing is a very simple, not anything kind of activating, just a simple breathing of connected breathing. So there's going to be no pause between the inhale and the exhale. It's just a simple connected breath. And we'll just be mindful of the breath. And whenever our thoughts try to pull us in one direction or another, we just simply bring our awareness back to the breath. We don't want to judge ourselves for what our minds do, because our minds just do that. They present options, they present polarities, they present thoughts, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's okay if that happens to you. Just bring your awareness again to the breath, feeling the breath in the body. And I'll be guiding you to tune into other sensations as well. We'll just proceed through the body and different areas of the body. And you'll be feeling physical sensations, and you'll also be feeling some energetic sensations and some subtle things that you might not even know how to identify. Could just be a mood or a deeper longing, something underlying. And that's really where the magic is, when we begin to see how deep we really are as humans, and what goes on.
Well, and one thing I've noticed in practicing breath work and meditation is I can be aware of what I'm aware of. And that's what's so unique about humans compared to animals, for example, that there's a part of our brain that can pay attention to what we're paying attention to. And when we kind of zoom out from that, it puts us into a different state that's much more at peace. So I look forward to doing this exercise. I think we can just dive right in. I'll let you take the lead.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. So for everyone listening, I invite you to either close your eyes or just have a soft gaze. And don't change the breath right away. Just be aware of your breath. Be aware of what's happening in your surroundings right now. And focus on how you feel the body rise and fall when you breathe. And you may be aware of your heart. You may be aware of your body inflating and then just letting go. You might be aware of how restless your body may be feeling, that maybe it's a bit difficult to sit still. Whatever is present for you is relevant, and that's what you'll be paying attention to. And then I invite you now to bring connection to the breath. So taking a nice breath in through the nose. You can let it out through the mouth or through the nose, whatever you feel is right, letting it go. And just before the bottom of the inhale, or the exhale rather, you're going to pick it back up again. So it's going to be one breath wave, a continuous flow of breath, breathing in and letting go. Breathing in and letting go. Breathe in, let go. You don't want to push out on the exhale, just let it fall out. And go at the pace that's comfortable for you. Just sensing the breath, feeling how your body responds. Noticing, is your heart racing? Is your breath shallow? Is it high up in your chest? Are you able to have a fuller breath, or is it short? Just be aware, just observe. Be curious about how your body is working with the breath. You may be noticing thoughts. You may be noticing mood or judgments. And that's okay. Just be aware that that's going on as well. That too is an energy. That too is communication that you can be aware of. You can be the observer. And noticing when you breathe in, are you able to fill your belly? Can you feel your belly open like a balloon inflating? And when you let go of the breath, can it give you the awareness of your belly letting go? Do you sense your belly getting smaller, your diaphragm getting smaller? When you inhale again, breathe into your lungs. Can you feel your chest open? Can you feel your shoulders respond? And then let go, feeling your shoulders drop, your chest fall. And with all of this awareness of what's happening in the body, can you recognize that you are actually aware of more? There are sensations, there's breath, there's body, there are thoughts. And you are observing all of it. And where you focus your attention, you can bring breath to there as well. That light, free flow of life energy. When you inhale, bring it into your forehead and soften. When you soften your forehead, can you feel it relax? Bring that energy, that awareness into your eyeballs, letting your eyeballs get heavy. Can you feel the muscles around your eyes softening? Keeping the breath connected, being aware of the breath. Can you soften your cheeks? Unclench your jaw? And notice the sensations that that brings. Can you feel tension melting in your neck and shoulders? When you bring your thought and your awareness and your breath to those places? Can you feel your spine relax and unwind? And if you're noticing tension, just be aware of that. If you're noticing the opposite of what I'm saying, be aware of that. Be mindful of all the experience without judging yourself. Just be aware. And bringing your awareness into your stomach, into your abs, into the muscles there. Can you breathe? Bringing in life into the muscles where we hold so much tension. Bringing it into that solar plexus area. Can you feel the subtleties of the energies moving in there? Maybe you're feeling a heaviness that's deep down. And maybe all you're feeling is the breath, and that too is beneficial. You can bring your awareness into your upper thighs and let your thighs get heavy. Can you feel any tingling moving down your legs? Maybe you're feeling something in your knees or your calves, your feet, your toes. Maybe you can even feel, if your feet are flat on the floor, the energy of the earth beneath you. Be aware, be mindful, without judging, without labeling, without identifying. Can you be in that field of just being? And can you notice a deeper sense of trust, a deeper sense of rest? Whatever energies are present for you, whatever sensations are present, they're valid. It's a valid form of communication that you are beginning to receive and to be aware of and to be present with. So take another nice breath in and let it go. And sit with a pause. without breathing for a moment. And observe your awareness, your beingness without breath. And then take another breath when you're ready, filling your lungs fully, and hold that energy in the top of your lungs for a moment. Tune into how that feels. And just let your breath out with a light sound. Shh. And just be still with that, noticing. And when you're ready, we're going to begin to come back fully into our space. So just be slow and gentle as you become aware of your hands and your feet. You can rub your wrists together and put a loving hand on your upper chest or your belly, feeling your own body, feeling how you can support yourself, be there for yourself physically as well as energetically. And you might want to just hold yourself or keep your hands on your body, just slowly opening the eyes again to a soft gaze, becoming aware of your surroundings and allowing yourself to become grounded again. Aware and present of the physical realm. And even noticing your mindfulness within the physicality and the balance that you can find therein. So just smile, put a smile on your face, and give some gratitude for taking a little bit of time to explore yourself and your being and love yourself a little bit more. Thank you, Sara. Thank you so much.
Wow. That was amazing, Susan. Thank you. What a gift.
Yeah.
And as we're trying to create a life, a reality that feeds our soul, that aligns with our heart, my takeaway here is that we have to first feel at home in our own body and with our mind and with our heart. And so I was so touched by that exercise, and I know that our listeners will be as well. Susan, is there anything else you'd like to share?
Honestly, I think one of your speakers was talking about this, but love really is the answer. And we're understanding that it's not just an emotion, it's not just a sentiment, that is actually a power. And the more that we can soften into loving ourselves, because oftentimes we do get polarized, we do think negatively about ourselves, and it's difficult to get out of that negative loop. The more often that we can tune in and be aware and be more at home in our body, be more present with ourselves, with that acceptance, with that love, the greater the capacity that we will have internally to accept life in all of its manifestation. Yeah. So beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you. Where can people go to learn more about you and your breathwork classes?
Well, I do have a website, it's bornagainbreathwork.com, and you can find out some events online that I do. I offer programs, 3-month programs that I'm launching, and I do one-to-one as well, coaching. But many of my breathwork sessions are free. I do a biweekly Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And I also do Christocentric breath work for those who resonate with that, worldview on Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. And those are free to join. And you can reach out to me. My email is hello@bornagainbreathwork.com. I'd be happy to sit with you and talk about what we can do together to help you create the kind of life that you want and to embrace your humanity and embody your divinity. So thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you so much for today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you, Sara.